Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to go over this past week's trade and a weekly recap. Before I get into the recap, if you're not in the room, you can find the link in the description of the video and in my bio section of social media accounts. Also, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you've done so already. Now, the week I did finish with 9 wins and 2 losses for a win rate of 81.82%. Very pleased about that. This week was crazy. It was kind of wild. Struggled a little bit at first, but I did do pretty good, so I can't complain. I didn't post any stats online this whole week. I just didn't do really anything. Just didn't feel like doing anything this week. I just wanted to take it easy. So this recap's going to be kind of different. Traded his room on the 3rd. I set buy puts on the 683.50. The 3rd is right over here. 683.50 is right over here at this low. I did not trade this day this well. I did pretty bad trading on the 3rd. I don't know why I traded the way I did, but I just didn't think we were going to have a massive down day. But the first trade I took was a loss. I took even though pre-market I called puts on it under right here, I didn't take it because of this candle. I mean, this is from 685 to it's almost a $2 candle, and I don't like chasing $2 opening candles, especially on a Monday, because well, not even on an open on any other day, because they end up being a trap, which we'll get to. I'll show you, because there was one that happened this week. So I didn't touch it. I waited. I usually wait out the first half an hour on Monday, and I did pretty close to it. But I took calls at 9:56, which was right here, right when it came down to pre-market low a day. Right there, I took what did I take? 60 calls at 9:40. It dropped more. I added, and I added at 6, making my new average at 7. I do not know why I did not sell it here. I stopped out at 4 for some reason. I did not take it. I don't know if I was expecting a bigger move. I think I was expecting this move to happen right here, and it didn't. It took out low a day, so I stopped out. So I probably shouldn't have caught that, even though I timed it good. I probably was up green. I'd have to really look into it, but I'm going to assume that I got at pre-market low. I added when it dipped, and I didn't sell when it ripped, and that's probably something stupid I did. So yeah, I took a loss when I didn't need to. Then I took calls at 11:18, which is right here. Came up to VWAP, dropped a little bit, came back at the VWAP, and it popped. And so what I have it at 68, 60 calls at 650. And yeah, they definitely went. I just I'm not sure what I got it at. I don't think I sold it very much. Yeah, I sold it when it went over like 7, so I got out pretty fast, and it dropped and it popped again. Then I grabbed calls again at 12:37, which is right 12:37 right here. Got a big drop to VWAP, got bounced, and bought it right here. Same one, 68, 60 calls at $7, and they probably went to $8 right there. I just played this really wrong. I dipped by here. I probably was expecting a bigger move than I wanted to, and I got stopped out. It didn't get much of a move right here, and when it dropped, you know, I was just happy to get out green. Then it dropped again, then it popped, and it just was a crazy day. And we were getting like pop, drop, pop, drop, pop, and a drop, pop, and a drop. It did not hold. I mean, the candles were massive, but it just wasn't going anywhere. I mean, yeah, it's going somewhere, but it's just from the time you buy it, it's dropping hard and coming back up, and you're pretty much underwater, even though the price is higher because of theta. So, yeah, I took one more play in the day. I took calls, the 68.50 calls, this time at 218, which is right 218. 218. Right here, and it popped down the VWAP and it bounced back up. About the 68.50 calls at 780, they probably went to $8 on that drop right there. So, kind of a horrible day. I played very, very horrible that day. And I think that's why I played very small and didn't play much all week. I mean, I had 11 trades. It's not much. It's not much to trade. So, what was my next loss? Anyways, my loss was the 5th. Okay. On the 4th, trade ideas on the 4th, I said SPY calls over 677, which is up here. Now, the first trade I took was SPY calls at 942, which was right here when it broke high a day. I grabbed the 68.20 calls at 590. They probably did really well. They probably did at least 10. I think most of my plays this week, from Tuesday on, they went to 10 plus. And then I took calls again at 11. No, I took puts at 11:49, which is right 11:49 right here. Right when it got down, because it popped off, bounced off VWAP, made a lower high, came back down. I grabbed the 67.85 puts at 7. It bounced a little bit, then it flushed, so they definitely went to 10. And that's all I took that day. And I didn't put anything traded his room pre-market because I had something to do in the morning, and I thought I'd be back before market open, and I didn't, so I was back late. But the first play I took on the 5th was I took calls at 1040, which is right here. Bounced up. We had news. Dropped back down, came back up, and as soon as it broke high day, I grabbed calls. I grabbed 68.15 calls at $6, and I don't think they went that much. Is this the play I took a loss on? No, they didn't go much. Yeah, they only went. I got out at 7. They got out even. So yeah, I took the 68.15 calls at $6, and it popped up. Caught some at 7. Then I stopped out at break even. Then I took a loss right here. I took puts at 1056, which is right here. Actually, it was in this candle right here, because you could see all these clusters of candles right here. Thinking, okay, we're rounding the top a little bit. I probably should have not played that. So as soon as you get underneath 677, I grab puts, 67.70 puts at 630, and I am stopping out. So yeah, wasn't too happy about that. It popped. So then on the 6th, I took 2 plays. Traded his room on the 6th. I said calls over 67.50. Wait, what? Calls over 677.60. 677.50, which was up here. Yeah, must have called it late. Yeah, I did. 925. Yeah, right above this candle. Didn't do anything. So first play I took on the 6th was I took puts at 10:35. I should have taken puts, but I broke new low a day. But we dropped so much pre-market, I didn't think we were going to drop and break pre-market low. I thought we were going to kind of hold, but it flushed through. Then we had to bounce the VWAP, but I did take right here at 9:35. As soon as we broke 673.30 and broke this area where the bodies are, I took puts. I took the 67.25 puts at 650, and they definitely went to 10. And then I took calls at 12:33, which is right here. I think I took it down here. 12:33. No, it was in this candle right here. Yeah, I did take it down here. RSI was really, really low. On the RSI was really, really low on Friday too. Yeah, I'm looking at the hourly on TradingView, and RSI was below 30 on the hourly down here, right around here. So when it made a flush new low a day, I was like, okay, we got a strong green candle, popped up, rejected, it came back up, swept out the lows, took out the liquidity, came back up, and we got back up to the 670.40. I grabbed calls. I grabbed the 67.40 calls at 750, and it bounced a little bit. And I think, you know, they did go to 10. I don't think they went to 10 here. I think they went to 10 in this one, but yeah, ended up being a pretty good play. Then on Friday, I played this one wrong, but I held it because we opened up. What time I get it? 10:43. Actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'll get the trade. The traded is room on the 7th. I said SPY calls over 668.50. We drifted down 668.50, which is up here. First 10-minute candle right here. Look at this candle, massive $4 candle. I mean, I probably should have took calls right there. I should have just jumped into calls on that play, because a $4 opening candle was definitely going to bounce, and it did. It rejected VWAP, came to a new lower day, and I did not want to take puts. It just felt like a trap, because this is another $2 candle. Candles were massive, and it was a put trap, and it popped. Then it came back down, and I didn't want to take puts here, because I just didn't trust it, because it bounced here. It came out, swept out lows, and bounced here, and came back down. I thought this was another trap, so I didn't take it, and it did just slowly grind down. But I did take calls right here, right when it made this new low. I took the 68.50 calls at 12.50. I took in the money, was going to add, and it just started to slowly grind down. And right at this point, RSI was below 30 on the hourly, and then down here, I lost half the position, and RSI was almost at 20 on the hourly, so I was not stopping out. I was holding it no matter what. And plus we had news coming out that day about the government voting on possibly opening the government, so we had that coming out midday, middle of the afternoon. At some point, I didn't know when it was happening, but I knew it was happening. So RSI hourly is about 20. I'm down over 50%. I held. In fact, I think they went down from, I was down 80% on the position. I held it. And I was not letting go, because I knew that when we bounced, it was going to be massive, because every time, why is TOS acting up? I don't know, TOS is acting up. But whenever hourly is that so oversold on the hourly, it's going to have a massive bounce. So my crosshairs are messed up. So down here is down 80% of the play, and then it ripped. And those calls I had at 12.50, I did end up selling at like 15 or something, and something like that, and more. They ended up going to like $35 because, you know, I had the news on my side. It was going to come out at any time. RSI was below 20 on the hourly, and almost every single time the RSI is that low on the hourly, we have a massive bounce. So I didn't want to stop out. I should have added. I could have had a huge play. I still had a good play. I mean, I could have had a really six-figure play, but I didn't average down, because I didn't know when we were going to bounce. I didn't know when news was going to come out. I didn't want to average down at 11 o'clock and find out we're not going to bounce until 2 o'clock, or have news at 2 o'clock, and then we might not have bounced as much as we did. I was not expecting this kind of a bounce, but I mean, I was definitely expecting a bounce to 666, because we've been, you know, we've been gravitating towards that. The market loves to play around with that number, so I held. I was not stopping out. I wanted to average down, but I just didn't know if I wanted to add more risk being down as much as I was, and when the bounce was going to happen. So I just let it ride out and just say whatever, it is what it is, and that's what I ended up doing. So I ended up selling those calls at $15 from. So I had a pretty good play, but like I said, they went to 35. I think they even went to 40 in this last candle. It was just ridiculous. But yeah, didn't play as good as I should have this week. Monday was tough. The rest of the week was pretty good. So that's going to do it for the recap, and thanks for watching.